The National Broadcasting Company presents the College Quiz Bowl, the new all-American quiz game that matches against each other the varsity scholars of two great American colleges. Tonight, from Middletown, Connecticut, Wesleyan University. Are you there, Wesleyan? And you'll be competing against last week's winner, Northwestern University from Evanston, Illinois. And are you there, Northwestern? In Radio City, New York, is your master of the quiz, Alan Ludden.
Hello there, everybody. It's good to have you with us. Well, here we go. It's going to be quite a quiz tonight. Northwestern, winner of last week's college quiz, is determined to hold on to its champion's position, and Wesleyan's out to take the winner's cap away from the Wildcats. So let's meet the teams and get set for our second game here in the College Quiz Bowl. First, we go to Middletown, Connecticut, and the Wesleyan referee, Floyd Richards of WTIC Hartford. How are you doing, Floyd?
Well, Alan, it looks like Northwestern's going to have some real competition this week from four varsity scholars who seem to know the answers.
Well, that's what makes it interesting. Let's meet those Wesleyan scholars.
Right, here they are to introduce themselves.
Harvey Lerner from Shrewsbury, Massachusetts.
Vern Dibble from Wappingers Falls, New York.
Frederick Young from Dayton, Ohio.
And Norman Clemens from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
That's our Wesleyan lineup for tonight.
Well, it sounds like you're really ready. Okay, now we're going to go from Wesleyan in Middletown, Connecticut, out to Evanston, Illinois, to hear from those Northwestern scholars. Charles Chan of WMAQ is back on hand to referee the Northwestern lineup. Are you all set out at Northwestern, Chan?
Set? Why, Alan, the whole campus is raring to rack up Northwestern's second victory in the Quiz Bowl. And to show you just what I mean, listen to this.
The team, Chan.
They're all back, Alan, all four scholars from last week's quiz game, and they are...
Virginia Landwehr from Elgin, Illinois.
Frank Plout from Dayton, Ohio. Greg Shooker from Charleston, West Virginia.
Ruth Feldman from Evanston, Illinois.
That's the Wildcat lineup, Alan, the varsity scholars from Northwestern.
Okay, there are the teams. Northwestern versus Wesleyan in the second game in the College Quiz Bowl. Now, Roger Tuttle, will you step in here and explain how we play this game of wits?
Gladly, Alan. The quiz is set up to determine how much these varsity scholars know and how quickly they can call upon their knowledge. So, we have toss-up questions, and this is the way they work. Alan Ludden asks a question, and the first team to signal it has the answer gets a chance to answer. If Northwestern signals first, you'll hear... And if Wesleyan signals first, you'll hear... And by means of a special electronic selector in the buzzer bell circuit, the team which signals first, even by a split second, makes it impossible for the other team's signal to get through. Now, if the team winning the chance at the toss-up question gives a wrong answer, the question then goes to the other team. And whichever team gives the right answer gets a bonus question. Each question is worth a designated number of points, and the team with the most points at the end of the game is the winner, and returns next week to defend its title in the College Quiz Bowl. Well, that's the way the game is played, so let's play it.
Okay, are you ready, Northwestern?
We're ready out here at Northwestern.
Okay, are you ready, Wesleyan?
Right.
All right, and here is your first toss-up question. Ready. His grandfather was Secretary of State to Benjamin Harrison, and his uncle was Secretary of State to Woodrow Wilson. For 10 points, who is he? Wesleyan.
Drew Clemens here.
Drew.
John Foster Dulles.
You're so right, John Foster Dulles. Okay. Secretary of State to Eisenhower. You might also have said, of course, Allen Dulles. Now, for getting the first toss-up question, Drew, you're going to get for Wesleyan, the Wesleyan team, anybody on the Wesleyan team can do this bonus question. Now, there are 3 parts to this question. You could possibly earn 30 points. Each part is worth 10 points. Is that clear? All right, now...
That's clear.
For 10 points, I want you to complete the following quotations. 1. One that Aprilla with his shorest sota, the drought of March hath pierced to the rota.
All right, I guess Drew Clemens has that again.
Okay, Drew.
And bothered every vine with switch liquor, of which virtue engendered is the fleur.
You're so right. Who wrote it? Okay. All right. Here is your next one. My candle burns at both ends. It will not last the night.
All right, Vern Dibble.
Vern.
But oh, my friends and oh, my foes, it gives a lovely light.
You're so right. Okay. Would you tell us, Vern, who wrote that?
Edna St. Vincent Millay?
Yeah, that's right. For no points. You're so right. Edna St. Vincent Millay. Okay. Here is your last one. For 10 points. Oh, my love is like a red, red rose.
Harvey Lerner.
That sweetly sings in June. That sweetly...
That's it. Go ahead. You're right. That's
love is like a red, red rose that sweetly springs in June.
I can't accept it because that's newly sprung in June. I'm sorry, I can't accept it. If you'd said anything that was near to new instead of sweet, you'd have gotten it, but you got 20 points for that. Now, before we move along any further to the next toss-up question, I want Roger Tuttle to come in here and tell you what the stakes are in this college quiz bowl game. Roger?
Each week, NBC will award to the school of the winning team a $500 gift to be administered by the college. It may go to a scholarship fund or to a campus activity. The winning team returns to meet a new team the following week. And each member of the losing team will receive an attractable, dependable Whitnauer wristwatch, a distinguished member of the Longines Whitnauer family of fine watches. Since 1866, maker of watches of the highest character. Well, those are the stakes. Now with the score, Wesleyan 30 points, Northwestern, they haven't scratched yet. We go back to a toss-up question. Remember, the team answering it correctly gets a chance at a bonus question. Alan?
Here we go with a toss-up question. Are you ready?
We're ready.
For 10 points, how many white stripes are there in the United States flag? Wesleyan.
Drew Clemens again.
Drew.
6.
6, you're right. For winning the toss-up. For winning the toss-up, you get a bonus question that could possibly bring you 10, 20, 10, 15, 25 points. The first part of this is worth only 5, however. The Secretary of State in the United States is gradually involved into one of the most important offices in the land. Now, you're going to get 5 points if you can name the first Secretary of State. Wesleyan?
All right, Harvey Lerner.
Harvey.
Thomas Jefferson.
You're right. 5 points. All right, 5 more points if you can name Lincoln's Secretary of State during the Civil War.
Vern Dibble?
William Seward.
Pardon me?
William Seward?
You're so right. William Henry Seward. 5 more points. For 5 points, the Secretary of State who was chairman of the delegation at San Francisco when the United Nations Charter was created in 1945.
I guess Vern Dibble again.
That would be Edward Stettinius, wouldn't it?
That would be right for 5 points. For 10 points, Wilson, Secretary of State during World War I. For 10 points.
Time out for thinking here.
Okay, think fast. Okay, the answer there was Robert Lansing. Robert Lansing was Woodrow Wilson, Secretary of State during World War I. Okay, now back to the toss-up question. Are you ready?
We're ready again.
Ready.
For 10 points, can you name the famed British Prime Minister who was the first Earl of Beaconsfield? Aha, Northwestern.
Greg Shooker for Northwestern, Allen.
Greg.
I think that was Benjamin Disraeli.
You thought right, and that's 10 points for you, and you get a bonus. Okay. Are you ready? This is a bonus question for Northwestern. We're going to start out here with a little 5-point question, which I think you'll get. Istanbul, the colorful city in Turkey, has had several names. Now, you're going to get 5 points if you can tell us one other name that Istanbul was known by, and you'll get 15 points if you can tell us two of its other names.
Well, we got one fella that knows one, and we got another one by the name of Greg Shooker that knows two.
Well, let's take the two-man first. What about it, Shooker?
It used to be Constantinople, and then long before that it was Byzantium.
Oh, 15 points. That's so right. It was also known as New Rome. You might have been interested to know, but you knew enough for 15 points. Now, you know, all this talk about Constantinople and Istanbul reminds me of a great new record. Have you heard?
Istanbul was Constantinople, now it's Istanbul, not Constantinople. Been a long time gone, old Constantinople, still a Turkish delight on a moonlit night. Every gal in Constantinople lives in Istanbul, not Constantinople. So if you've a date in Constantinople, she'll be waiting in Istanbul.
Okay, for 5 points, Northwestern, tell me the name of the singing group on that record. Northwestern, where you been? It's on the jukebox.
We study all the time. We don't have time.
Oh, Northwestern studies too hard. You should study a little. Well, I wouldn't want to say that. However, I think you'll be very interested to know, I'm sure, that those gentlemen singing that wonderful new recording on Columbia label are the Four Lads. Now, here's another record. I think you'll hear why I want to play it at this point. I'm going to ask you to tell me the name of the singer for 5 points.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion fits? Putting on the wrist, different types to wear a day coat, pants with stripes and cutaway coat, perfect fit. Putting on the wrist.
How about that? How about that? Who is that singer for 5 points?
Greg Shooker.
Greg.
Oh, it sounds like Al Jolson, but it's probably that guy who imitates him now.
No. Oh, Greg. No. You know, Greg, that man made that song famous. His name is Harry Richmond. Greg, tell me, when were you born?
Pardon me?
You don't mind telling
Yesterday.
me. You're
1932.
1932. Well, Mr. Richmond was singing that song before you were born.
Is that AM or PM?
Okay, now I think we better pause about this point to find out what the score and time is. Roger?
Well, right now, Alan, the score is Northwestern 25 points, Wesleyan 55 points with 15 and a half minutes to go. And may I remind you again, you listeners as well as you contestants, that the winning team will receive a $500 gift to be administered by the college, plus an opportunity to return to the College Quiz Bowl next week to compete against Tulane University of New Orleans, Louisiana.
Okay, here we go with a toss-up question for 10 points. For 10 points, they call him Honest Abe. His last name is not Lincoln. Northwestern.
Ruth Feldman.
Honest Abe Yoakum, just born to little Abner.
Oh, you're so right for 10 points. Honest Abe Yoakum.
I did not read the funny.
All right. Now we're out at Northwestern, and I've got a special question here for a gentleman by the name of Shooker. Are you there, Gregory Shooker?
Oh, yeah, man, right here.
Okay. You know, this one is addressed just to you because I think you can do it very well. Now, when I visited your campus not long ago, your very good dean of students, Dean McLeod, showed me around the campus, and I was very interested in the system of quadrangles that you've got out there in your campus. Now, for a possible 15 points, depending on how well you do it, I'd like to have you tell us in about 30 seconds just how those quads are set up and why.
Well, the quadrangles, first there are men's quadrangles at one end of the campus and women's at the other. The theory is that housing should be on a rather equal basis, and that the Greek letter organizations, the fraternities and sororities, should be given the same kind of housing as the independent groups, and also the larger sororities should have no advantage financially or by age of chapter to have a larger house or a nicer house. The whole idea is that all men are put in one part of the campus together. The houses have equal facilities, the same kind of lounges, television sets, and all that sort of thing. The same with the women. So the quadrangles themselves look quite similar, although each house is a little different. The theory being, as I said, it's a regular equal housing basis.
Very good. I think you deserve 15 points for that, don't you? All right. Okay, here we go. What's the score, Roger? What's the score?
Well, the score right now, Alan, Northwestern is on their way up with 50 points, trailing Wesleyan at the present time by only 5 points. Wesleyan 55 points with 13 minutes to go.
Okay, here's a tossed-up question for 10 points. In linear measure, how many feet equal a fathom? In linear... Northwestern.
Frank Cloud.
I believe it's 6, isn't it?
6 feet equal a fathom. You're... Okay. Frank Plout, for answering that question, you got Northwestern a bonus question, and here it is. It's a simple problem in mathematics. You're going to need your pencil and paper, so get it ready. A simple problem in mathematics. I want you to start with the number of leagues under the sea in Jules Verne's novel. Divide that number by the number of permanent members in the United Nations Security Council. Add the number of original colonies in the United States. For 10 points, give me the numerical answer.
I believe Ruth Feldman's going to give this answer.
Ruthie Duskin Feldman, how are you tonight? I haven't heard from you. What's the answer?
Just fine. Yes, you have. I gave you Honest Abe.
Oh, you fooled me there. Now, what's the answer, Ruthie?
Oh, we have 8,013.
You have 8,013? You run through that for me, please. How you got that number?
Well, there are 40,000 leagues under the sea in Jules Verne's novel. And there are...
Is that right, Wesleyan?
Or is it 50,000? Wait, it's 50,000.
Oh, Ruthie.
No, wait, we got it now. It's 50,000, isn't it?
It's 20. You're getting... Ruthie.
20,000.
I'm sorry you missed it. I cannot give you credit. It is 20,000.
Well, my team members have it, though.
No. I know, but we got a little involved there. I think we're going to have to disqualify the answer. We will run it through for the audience. It's 20,000 divided by 5 equals 44,000. 20,000 leagues under the sea divided by 5 United Nations Security Council permanent members. Adding 13, the number of the original colonies in the United States, and the correct answer would be 4,013. That's the correct answer. Okay, let's go on to a toss-up question. Are you ready? Here we go. For 10 points, if you were in the western part of the Atlantic and your ship had just crossed the equator, what country would you be nearest? Wesleyan.
Drew Clemens.
Drew.
Haiti, am I right?
Nope, I'm sorry, you're wrong. You would be near Brazil. All right, here's another toss-up question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Carolyn Knight, a lovely blonde who's only 20, and a student at the University of Southern California, was pictured in Time magazine last week. Now, for 10 points, tell me why. Northwestern.
Virginia Landwehr for Northwestern.
Virginia.
Her father replaced or took over the governorship of the state of California when Earl Warren went to the Supreme Court.
That's right, for 10 points. You got it. Her father. Her father's name, do you know it, Virginia?
Goody Knight is his nickname.
Goody Knight is his nickname. Goodwin Just Knight is his real name. He was lieutenant governor. All right, for so doing, you have won yourself the bonus question, and it's a big bonus question, so hang on. This is a music question.
Oh, here we go.
All right, I'm going to test your knowledge of both popular and classical music. Our pianist, Cornell, Tennessee, will play a theme from a classical composition. And then for 5 points, you're to tell us the popular song that was based on this melodic theme.
Ruth Feldman.
All right, Ruth Feldman.
I believe it's I'm Always Chasing Rainbows.
You believe right. That's 5 points. Now, Ruthie. Ruth Duskin Feldman, for 10 more points, can you identify the classical composition that Mr. Tennessee just played?
I believe Greg can.
All right, Greg.
That's Fantasy Impromptu, isn't it?
You're right. By whom?
Chopin.
You're right. Chopin's Fantasy Impromptu for 10 points. All right. Here we go. Here's another melodic theme from a classic. For 5 points, tell us what popular song was based on it. What popular song was based on that theme?
Virginia Landwehr this time.
Virginia.
Wild Horses is a popular song.
You're so right. Wild Horses. Now, for 10 points, can you tell us the classical composition you just heard to remind you of Wild Horses?
Ruth Feldman will take care of that.
Well, that's The Wild Horseman, I believe, by Schumann.
Yes, you're so right for 10 points. All right, now, here's a theme that Buddy Kaye and Ted Mossman turned into a hit song. Mr. Tennessee plays the classic You Name the Pop tune for 5 points.
Greg Shooker.
Okay, Greg.
Popular tune is Till the End of Time.
For 5 points, you're right. Now, for 10 more points, can you name the classical melody that we just heard?
Once again, it was Chopin, the Polonaise.
You're so right. Chopin's Polonaise in A-flat. All right. Roger, what's the score? What's the score in time?
Well, Alan, right now, Northwestern seems to be pulling ahead with 115 points against Wesleyan's 55 points. And we have 7 minutes to go.
Okay, here we go. With 7 minutes to go, here is a toss-up question. The girl of my dreams is the sweetest girl of all the girls I know. For 10 points, tell me, who is she? You push it, that's out.
Tell him, Frank.
Out. Before I finish talking, you pushed your buzzer, so that question is out of
My button got stuck out here.
Your poor Chen with his button stuck. Okay. Here we go. I'm sorry we're going to disqualify the question. The answer, of course, is the sweetheart of Sigma Chi. Now, for 10 points, here's a new toss-up question. Who succeeded General Mark Clark as United Nations commander in the Far East? Northwestern.
Ruth Feldman.
That was Matthew Ridgway, wasn't it?
Nope. I am sorry, Ruth Feldman. That's wrong.
Or Harrison. Is that Harrison?
All right. Now, wait a minute. Wait. This is a toss-up question. This is a toss-up question, and we can transfer a toss-up question. Can you give me the right answer, Wesleyan?
Matthew Ridgway.
Oh, no, man.
Harrison.
All right, out. The whole question's out. The answer is General John E. Hall succeeded General Mark Clark as United Nations commander in the Far East on October 8th. All right, here's a toss-up question for 10 points. You know his first name. He was Romeo in Shakespeare's romantic tragedy. Now, for 10 points, tell us Romeo's last name. Northwestern.
Ruth Feldman.
Montague,
that's right. All right. For getting that right, you get a bonus question, Northwestern. Here it is. For 10 points, tell me the difference between Batten, Barton, Durston, and Osborne and Batten and Button. I'll do it again.
What?
The difference between Batten, Barton, Durston, and Osborne and... Now, that's one unit. Now, tell me the difference between that unit and this unit, Batten and Button.
I'll give it a try.
Okay, give it a try. Who is it?
Well, Batten, Barton, Durston. This is Frank Cloud.
Okay, Frank.
Batten, Barton, Durston, and Osborne is an advertising agency.
Right.
But those other boys, I don't believe we've been acquainted with.
Batten and Button, you don't know, huh?
No.
Well, if you'd known them, you'd have got 10 points. I'll tell you,
Are they a sports team?
What? Anybody else on the team want to try it? Anybody else on the team want to try it?
Nah.
Batten and Button is a method of joining wood in order to prevent it from warping. Okay, here we go back to the toss-up question. First of all, though, let's find out the score. Roger.
Well, the score right now, Alan, Northwestern is still surging ahead with 125 points to Wesleyan's 55, and we have approximately 4 minutes to go.
Okay, here's 10 points. Here's a toss-up question. The Electoral College becomes news when the President of the United States is elected. For 10 points, what organization similar in name commands front-page attention when a pope is elected? Wesleyan.
Yes, Vernon Dibble.
Vernon Dibble.
College of Cardinals?
The College of Cardinals, that's right. For 10 points. Okay, Wesleyan, you've got a bonus question here. You could make 30 points on this question. Each portion is worth 10. For 10 points each, identify the following people who have made news recently. Joseph P. Ryan.
All right, Fred Young. What on Fred?
He's head of the Longshoremen's Union in New York, the strike business.
That's right. He is the one who has been indicted and is awaiting trial for looting the Union Treasury and so forth. The October 15th New York Times carried a front-page story on Mr. Ryan. All right, for 10 points, identify Margot Fontaine. Wesleyan. For 10 points.
Back page.
Margot Fontaine.
Anyone want to try here at Wesleyan?
Okay, I'll tell you, she's the prima ballerina of the Sadler's Wells Ballet Company, which recently concluded engagement at the New York Metropolitan Opera House. Okay, for 10 points, identify Lester R. Johnson.
All right, Vernon Dibble.
Okay, Vernon.
He's the chap that just got elected to Congress.
You're so right. Where?
Wisconsin.
You're right. He's the Democrat that got elected to Congress. All right, that's 20 points more for Wesleyan. All right, here is a toss-up question. Are you ready? For 10 points. Are you ready, Northwestern?
We're ready. Yep.
Okay, for 10 points, tell us why Sophie Abuza made news last week.
Who?
Sophie Abuza. Northwestern.
Virginia Landwehr.
Well, that we all know her as Sophie Tucker.
Yeah.
And she just came back for her last vaudeville performance, and then she's going to start on the road again at the Waldorf.
Well, I tell you what, Virginia, you got certain portions of that right, and I'm going to credit you with it. However, I'm sure Miss Tucker would want me to correct you in this instance. This was not her last appearance. It was simply the occasion of her Golden Jubilee testimonial dinner, which she had in her 49th year, because she said next year she was too busy. Okay, you got for that toss-up question, you've got a bonus question, 10 points. In the famous tale of Peter Rabbit by Beatrix Potter, is the end of it. Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail have bread and milk and blackberries for supper. Now, for 10 points, tell me what was Peter given at bedtime? Anybody at Northwestern?
A spanking?
Let's try castor oil. How's that?
No, you didn't get it with castor oil.
Catacol?
Can you try it? All right, I'm sorry, it was chamomile tea. All right, here is the toss-up question. Are you ready, Wesleyan?
We're ready.
Are you there, Wesleyan?
Yes, are we ever?
Okay, here's 10 points you could make. Who in ancient Greece could call Xanthippus dad and Zeno teacher? Northwestern.
Ruth Feldman.
Who did you say, Dad?
Xanthippus was dad and Zeno was teacher.
Oh, was that Plato?
No, can you guess it right? Can you get it, Wesleyan?
How about it, Wesleyan? Harvey Lerner, want to try?
Come on, Harvey.
Pericles? Pericles, who said it?
Drew Fleming.
All right. 10 points, and it gives you 10 points, and it gives you a chance at a bonus question which could earn you 40 points. All right. For 10 points each, I'll name a ship, and you will tell me the author of the book in which it appeared. Are you ready?
We're ready.
The Pequod. The Pequod. P-E-Q-U-O-D. Can you get it?
Anybody want to try? Fred Young?
All right, here's another one. The Patna. Oh, incidentally, that Pequod was in Herman Melville's Moby Dick. Herman Melville's Moby Dick. All right.
Alan, I'm sorry, but time is up, and that's all the time we're going to have tonight in tonight's College Quiz Bowl. I'm sorry, but we just don't have any more time. The final score stands now 95 points for Wesleyan and 135 points for Northwestern, the winner. And for fielding the winning team tonight, Northwestern University will receive a $500 gift to be administered by the college. And these varsity scholars from Northwestern will return again next week to compete in this new All-American quiz game with the varsity scholars of Tulane University, New Orleans, Louisiana. To each member of the Wesleyan team, it's our pleasure to award an attractive and dependable Whitnauer wristwatch, a distinguished member of the Longines Whitnauer family of fine watches. Since 1866, makers of watches of the highest character. Now here once again is your master of the quiz, Alan Ludden.
Congratulations to Northwestern and to Wesleyan. May I say to all of you men on the team, Norman Clemens, Harvey Lerner, Vern Dibble, Frederick Young, you did a great job. Next week, Northwestern meets Tulane University. And in the weeks to follow, we'll have varsity scholars from the University of Minnesota, Radcliffe, and other outstanding colleges and universities all over the nation. Be with us again next week and every week for an exciting quiz game here in our College Quiz Bowl. Now, this is Alan Ludden saying See you tomorrow on Weekend, and goodbye now.
Your referees tonight were for Northwestern, Charles Chan of station WMAQ in Chicago, and for Wesleyan, Floyd Richards of station WTIC in Hartford, Connecticut. College Quiz Bowl is an NBC Radio Network production and is produced by John Moses and Don Reed, directed by Ken McGregor. This is Roger Tuttle speaking. Enjoy Know Your NBC tonight on the NBC Radio Network.